welcome to the GamezAttack podcast, episode 62. Let's talk video games, shall we? I think we shall, folks. This is a podcast about video games. And I think we're going to be talking about video games on this show. Because why not? Oh boy, I didn't even turn on my right thing here yet. Oh boy, where was I on this? Where was I? Oh, there we go. I'm going to put the timer on. I got it for an hour and 50 minutes for this timer today. I don't know why I'm putting a timer on. I don't need no stinking timer. There's no real time to the show. I just do it for my own satisfaction, right? Oh, that's a countdown? Okay, I was wondering what that was. I thought it was like, are you ready? I have that, right? I thought I had that. Maybe it's on another section here, but yeah, welcome everybody to the podcast that is about video games, the GamezAttack podcast. I'm your host for this show, and like every show, because I'm the only person that does this here and now, I am Mr. Mike. I am the guy that likes and loves, and I don't know, I could probably do without video games, but why would I even want to think about that? I just love them so much. I love to play video games. When I get the chance to, you know, I'm usually doing other stuff, but I do love the game. I love playing video games and such. And I played a few. Before we get started talking to stuff, I got, you know, a bunch of stuff to talk about, like movies that I went to see. I know it's not video game stuff, but hey, I'll talk a little bit about my life. a little bit. But I want to get started because I always usually forget on the games that I have played in the past week. It's not many, but I have played some.
The games that have been played in the past week.
Okay, and it also coincides because talking about the games that I played in the past week also goes into some like news kind of ish stories and a little bit of me ranting and talking about how Minecraft got updated, and I don't know what's going on with Minecraft right now. I'm trying to get back into playing some Minecraft, and it seems like everything is changing, and I don't know if it's for the better or not, but let's just say we'll talk about that in a little bit. That'll be the last thing I talk about in the games that I played in the past week. Played some more Crime Scene Cleaner. Continuing to clean up bloody murders and messes. It's funny how the people that you bodies that you sometimes drag out are I wouldn't say similar. They're the same, like ragdoll physics. You know, the men, the women, and they might have some like different clothing on them, but they're pretty much the same. And every time I'm going into these, and I don't know, it could just be me as a weirdo here. When I go into a lot of these places and you got both a man and a woman, whatever, or a woman dead or man and woman dead and stuff like that, you know there's a woman that was there, either dead or whatnot, because you always find the same pair of red high heel pumps sitting there, either by the bed, by the walkway, by the door front. It's always the same damn brand and same red high heel pumps. It's like, wow, didn't have any ballet shoes or sandals or anything else in the I don't know what they used for to make the game. It's just like, it's really weird. It's like all these women wear the same kind of red heels. That's weird. But that's something I only noticed. Plus, there's a little bit of culty stuff in this game where you're cleaning up like culty kind of shit going on there. But it's still fun. I take a little bit at a time. I play it a little bit at a time. As I'm recording this today on a Thursday, because I pretty much figure, and I could be wrong, because news can happen at any time, anywhere. But I'm recording this on Thursday for the Monday show, because usually I record on the weekend, but I want to I'm recording this on my vacation, so I'm trying to get ahead of it. I want to have extra vacation time to just me just relaxing, video game playing and stuff. Not that this podcasting isn't relaxing or whatever, but I just wanted to get ahead of it because I'm like thinking, well, how much news is going to be happening on Friday and the weekend? If there is and does happen that there's some video game news over the weekend, I will shamefully slap myself silly on saying that. But I pretty much don't think there's going to be much going on throughout Friday and the weekend, and but a lot of different news happened, a lot of different stuff. So that is just me talking about that, and but I wanted to get this done so I could go back and play more games and stuff. But back to Crime Scene Cleaner. Yep, playing more of it. Still, I understand the story where he's trying to, I guess, save up money to help his daughter, whatever. There's not much really story to get into. It's just all these other creepers and creepos and stuff like that. Sometimes I find some secrets, sometimes I don't. It's more like a power wash simulator to me, that is what it mostly is like to me, like a power wash simulator, and I like it. And I know they did announce the new power wash simulator, Power Wash Simulator 2, and I cannot wait till they bring that sucker out, because I will definitely be getting that. I'll bet you it'll be on Game Pass again, because it was on Game Pass the last time. It will probably be on Game Pass again, and then I'll get in and I'll play it on Game Pass as well. They do got the paintball simulator, and then they also got the crime scene simulator with the cop or the police simulator one. I wanted to try out the police one. I should do that, but it depends if I have time or not. It's not the biggest thing that I want to get into or not. I do a lot of those because I got to get back into the games that I've been wanting to get back into, and I've been not getting back into, you know what I mean? I've been steering off course playing other stuff that I shouldn't be playing. I've been continuing also, because I got nothing really to say about Crime Simulator. It is what it is. You're cleaning up crime scenes. You're finding extra stuff, sometimes some money, and sometimes some other stuff you can steal. And that's all you do. You try to clean up all the blood, get rid of all the bodies, throw out all the garbage, and you get a little total, and they give you the whole thing going on how well you did and all that. And then you basically go back to your shitty house that's super messy with a dog that looks like he's never been fed in 20 years because there's no food ever in his bowl. And then you just go to sleep, and then you wake up, and then there's another mission. There's nothing that has really changed in that game for me yet. Story-wise or whatever-wise. So I just been going to the next crime scene, clean up the next crime scene, moving the furniture, doing all that stuff. There's nothing much more to talk about. It's a great chillax game if you're not squeamish for blood and dead people and stuff like that. It's not like they used like your bare bones dead people simulator thing, rag dolls, where they're just lying there. There's nothing really gruesome about them or anything. They're just bloody and sometimes in weird positions, and that's it. And that's how the game is, and it's a fun game. It's a fun game to play, earn some achievements, and have some fun playing, and it's something to chillax about. Vampire Survivors I've been getting back into a little bit. Played another round of Vampire Survivors on the Series X. Oh, also Crime Simulator Cleaner I've been playing on Series X. I could be playing on the ROG Ally, but I've been playing on the Xbox sometimes, because sometimes I want to give my Xbox some love, not playing always on the computer or the ROG Ally and stuff. But yeah, Vampire Survivors is Vampire Survivors. There's more DLC I've been finding. When I've been going into the Xbox app on my PC, it's been showing me, oh, there's more Vampire Survivors DLC. I'm like, for sale, and I'm like, okay. Do I really need to buy it? Also for Brotato too. I found some new stuff. I don't know if it's new or if they just finally put that bonus DLC content for sale on the Xbox storefront. Maybe it was just on Steam or something, and then they finally ported it and made it available for Xbox, because I've been finding some like new DLC, extra, like, I don't know, bad guys, characters, whatever, scenarios for both Vampire Survivors and Brotato, and I'm like, I bought some Vampire Survivors DLC in the past. It was all good. I bought that stuff. I bought that Castlevania one. I bought that, what was that other Vampire Survivors DLC? What was that? That was, it's Castlevania, and then there was that, what's that called? What's that called with the guy with the arms and stuff? Shit, I forgot what it was called, but I bought a few of those. They were pretty good. But you know, can't play Vampire Survivors all the time. I gotta start to branch out. I played a lot of Vampire Survivors. That's a great game though. So is Brotato. Like I said, I've just been on my last podcast when I talked about it, I've been pushing farther. I haven't played any of that yet though. Any more of that though, but those are addictive games, and they're small. I'm guessing they were semi cheap to make, and they just have so much potential, and they probably sold millions of copies between the two of them, you know, or not even between the two of them, and it's just been really good for both of those franchises, and that kind of shooter all around kind of games. But been playing a little bit of that. And like I said, I'm gonna wait to talk about Minecraft Bedrock Edition at the very end here, but Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, has been posted to Game Pass finally. Last night I went and played a few little levels, not levels, like, yeah, maybe levels. The beginning of Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, and yes, it's still janky. It looks great. They got some great visuals. They got a great story going on, I guess. We'll see. They should just make animated anime movies of that stuff because it's really cool. But it's still janky, and when you're playing as Crash and you're trying to go through everything, it's like, okay, I'm trying to jump. Even though you can make it so you can see where he's jumping at, it's got like the little shadow points and stuff. I still end up falling off or getting hit or weird stuff because it's hard for a person, I can understand, it's hard for a person to go up a level. We're not used to going up like this to battle creatures and stuff in game. We're mostly side to side, back and front, you know, or it's really weird to do that and just do a platforming like it's that. And sometimes you do the side to side, and sometimes the jumping is weird, and sometimes the platforms are weird, but and I died a million times in Crash Bandicoot 4. I'm not the best at it. I'm not the best at platformers, really. You know, I'm good, but I'm not the best. But it's been fun. And when I saw it come on Game Pass, I'm like, okay, Mr. Mike, might as well try it out. You played the other Crash Bandicoot games and Spyro games and stuff, so why not try out this fourth one, which was the most recent one that they actually made. It was the Activision's probably last Crash Bandicoot game that was made by Toys for Bob before Toys for Bob went bye-bye, and then they split off and made their own thing on the side. I think they still call it Toys for Bob, but they're not owned by Activision Blizzard or anything, or Microsoft or anything like that. But yeah, it's still a good game. I recommend it. It is a decent title for gaming and such. So yeah. And then the final game, because I only played 4 of these games so far. Like I said, I haven't gotten into any of my backlog. I want to get into playing, which I am going to definitely kick myself in the ass and try to do it either tonight or tomorrow. I want to play myself some Indiana Jones again. I want to definitely play more Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I want to see if I could get through that game and beat that game before anything else, because I got pretty far into Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, and then I just stopped because there was all these other games coming out. I never went really back into it. I went back into it once, and then because I was stuck at this one point where I didn't know that there was a side exit out of the sewers, and I was so stupid because I was trying to jump this waterfall. I kept sliding down and not dying, but going back and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong here? And I was looking at other people play the game, and I couldn't figure it out until I paid attention extra hard. And I'm like, oh, there's a sideway in the one part of the tunnels of the sewer, and I'm like, wow, Mike, Mr. Mike, you're stupid. Oh my God, you're so stupid at stuff like that. But then I advanced a little bit more, and then I had more fun with it. And I'm like, oh, I'm back on that Ninja Gaiden trail. Plus, Ninja Gaiden 4 is going to be coming out sooner than you would think, sooner than later. So I want to get ready to play that, because I do like Ninja Gaiden games. I'm not, like I said, always with those super fast-paced games where you got to go clicky, super fast with the controllers and stuff like that, and do the things and stuff. I'm not that quick. I'm not the quickest guy out there, but I still have fun. I try to make fun with what I do in these games, and as long as I'm having fun, that's all that matters, right? So I want to play more of that. I want to play more Indiana Jones. I think I'm just gonna drop out of Call of Duty. I think I might still have Call of Duty on my raw gallery. I forgot if I deleted it or not, but I think I pretty much, and I'm gonna check right now, I think I took it off my list here. Yes, I took it off my list here on my PC, because I used to have Call of Duty, the latest Call of Duty Black Ops, what was it, 6? 5, 6? Yeah, 6, here on my PC, and I just let it go. I'm like, yeah, okay, bye-bye. But yeah, so pretty much it's, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle I want to play more of. I got Borderlands 3. I got to start playing some of that on my PC. I might want to buy it. I know the fourth one's coming out for $70, mind you. I'll mention that more in the news, but I like Borderlands 3, and I haven't gotten super far in Borderlands 3. I'm starting a whole new run, I think, on it, unless if my game save is going to carry over from my Xbox version to this Xbox PC version that I have here, but I'm not holding my breath on that, because I don't know. Sometimes cross-save played does not work to what you would think it would. But yeah, there's some games I want to play. And then I got Oblivion on my PC here, which I'm thinking maybe might be, if I beat, well, not if I beat, I probably will beat. As you're watching this, you will know if I beat Doom the Dark Ages on Friday. I pretty much will, and I pretty much will promise you and everybody, I will be probably playing and beating the rest of Doom the Dark Ages this Friday, as I'm recording this the day before of Doom the Dark Ages. But because there's only 3 chapters left, and if it only goes to 22, I'm on 19. That's a definite probably yes on that, me beating that game. So that's pretty much what I'm going to probably try to do, is beat that game. And then the next stream session that I do on the next Friday, I'm probably going to go and play some Oblivion. I want to play some of that Oblivion remastered, probably. Thinking about it, because otherwise I would have to find some other games to play. And I'm like, I'm not going to get back into Final Fantasy yet. That's more of a fall, winterish kind of thing I want to do Final Fantasy play on. But definitely might be doing some Oblivion on the next show. Or else I could play some Command and Conquer, because I haven't played a lot of Command and Conquer in a while. But it's most likely going to be Oblivion remastered. I also got other stuff here. I got Planet Coaster I haven't really played much of, because I got to figure out how to play that game better. And then I got the Jurassic World 2 game, right? This is Jurassic World 2, Evolution 2. Yeah, Jurassic World Evolution 2. I know 3 they announced. Why they're having a third one and not just releasing more DLC or something for the second one is beyond me, but I guess they felt the need to make a third Jurassic World Evolution game, which I tried to, but I fell off of it. But I think it was because I don't know if I was just not paying attention or whatnot or something or other, but there's a lot of stuff to it, and I've really liked Operation Genesis. Jurassic Park Operation Genesis back on, what was it, the I got the Xbox version actually, so, but that was pretty good for one of those park building games. But I also got Planet Coaster. I want to try to build a theme park and coasters and stuff, but I gotta figure out some stuff before I do any of that stuff. But lots of games on my list of wanting to play, and then you got the Tony Hawk's 3+4 coming soon. Like I said, another Ninja Gaiden game. Then there's a bunch of other games coming out. So yeah, there probably will be another video game drought eventually, but it's looking like all the way up to the fall winter time we're going to be getting a lot more games going to be coming on our doorsteps. And I hate to say that even I can't get into every single game. I wish I could. I wish I had the patience and the time like I used to play just everything that came out. But sadly, I got to go to work for a living, for my job, not this fun hobby that I do, but a job, which takes up time. And then I got to do other things in life, like working out and working on everything else. So yeah. But Minecraft Bedrock Edition, I've been playing that again. I loaded it back up on my PC in Rug Alley. Originally, I was trying to get my new, because I got a new mini PC / server for upstairs, and I was trying to get it to work like I did all the times before, because I liked having it run off my PC and just having it, work in tandem with the game, and then just having the server run outside of it. And I used to be able to play this on my server anywhere around the world and stuff, but something happened. And I don't know what had happened. I don't know what's going on. I know they updated a lot of stuff. I know the server got updated and stuff. And I'm going to get into my show notes because I'm going to be talking about this as well. So I might as well bring this up. They just came out with a new update for Minecraft, and also probably the server as well. The Minecraft Vibrant Visuals update, which is supposed to give it a visuals overhaul for everything Minecraft. And then it's supposed to be, it says, but only on compatible devices. Okay, so I got that. It still looks better on my ROG Ally. I don't know if that's probably not a compatible device because it doesn't do the ray tracing or anything like that, but it still looks different. Still looks better, but it really looks really good on my PC here. And I'll be showing you in a little bit for you podcast video watchers out there, if you're watching this and not listening to this on any of your major podcast apps, because if you want to listen to this, you can listen to it on any of the major podcast apps, but if you want to watch it, I got it only in two places, and that's youtube.com/OldFreakyGamer-2023, or you could go to OldFreakyGamer.com and watch it there in the content section. So, but yeah, I wanted to get the new Minecraft server up. I haven't played it. I haven't had a Minecraft server up since my older hardware, which is about to be extinct because Windows 11 does not work on the older mini PC that I have stored somewhere else now. But I wanted to get the new Minecraft server up and running, and I was doing all the stuff. I was going step by step, just like I always did, and it was not working. Everything was not working. It was not connecting me to the outside world. First off, it wasn't letting me, for some reason it says, oh, you got bad certs and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I have bad certifications. So I'm checking my PC, I'm checking everything, I'm checking the time and date and everything seems to be running good. And I just updated that machine as well. It just had a bunch big Windows update for that little machine, which I haven't turned it on for a month or so, but because I only turn it on when I used to use it for other stuff, but other server stuff. But I was like, well, if I'm going to use this in my new Minecraft server, I gotta update it and stuff. It's fully updated, everything else. But when I went and put in the new Minecraft server, it was like giving me errors and cert problems and all that. And then when I tried to go back to my original server stuff, it was working and it wasn't giving me any cert errors. So I don't know if it's just the new server code or whatever they were doing with the server thing on Minecraft, but The new update for the new Minecraft server is something's wrong with it. Something's wrong with it because it isn't working. And for some reason, even though I got all my ports and my port forwarding, just like I always had, working, and the port one, what is it, 90? It's like 1099.3 or whatever it is. The ports that you want, so you can actually use it like via the internet if I want to use it somewhere else and I'm not home or something. I want to play my Raw Galley on the internet somewhere else or on somebody else's computer with my account or whatever. Or if I want to play with other people outside, that's what that would be working at. It for some reason it isn't working. For some reason it's not. And I got the firewall and everything. Windows firewall is letting it through and everything else, and I just can't figure out why the server isn't working. And then, like I said, the new server isn't working because of certs and stuff. And now when I went to the old server and it says it started and all that, of course it's probably not going to work because it's, you got to have the latest version of the software to run and play with the other Minecraft versions because they all got to be the same or else it won't work. So I got it sort of finally working on not working, but working when it was accepting it and it said the server started and stuff, but I could not find it with my PC or my ROG Ally. And I'm like, why is this not working on these devices when it used to be? It is just such a fucking hassle to do a server. And like I said, it's never used to be a problem. I used to do a Minecraft server all the time. I used to have it where I can have friends and mostly my one friend, be able to play with me from his house and my house and do all this stuff. I had little minor things here and there, but then I figured them out. But now it's like this stuff does not work anymore. And I don't know if it's just me or if other people are having problems with this. I'm still like a novice when it comes to the networking protocols and stuff. I understand, port forwarding and all that. I understand about, your firewall's on or not, and the basics to get stuff to work because I got all my IoT stuff. It's like, but Mojang, Xbox, Microsoft, whatever, why the fuck can't you guys make a server app that's an actual app that can start it up and you just enter in your Xbox credentials or something or whatnot onto it and then it'll do it all for you. I don't understand why they just don't do that. Why is it something that I got to copy and paste and do all this stuff to update it, which is really stupid, when you should be able to just have everything update in the background in the app or whatever, just have this hub where I can just say, okay, I want to make a private home server for Minecraft for people to play on via my house, and it'll set it up and it'll say, hey, enter your Xbox credentials. We'll work with your port forwarding with your router to port forward or whatever, or just give me the ports that you want, which I already have on there. Test out the firewall, test out the connection to the outside and back, stuff like that to make it a lot easier for this to work, and then tell me why this ain't working or why this, if the cert isn't working or available or not there or something. Maybe go out and get me the cert and whatnot to make it good and all that. Give people like me a little bit more help in a program. And then, like I said, if you guys have updates to the server builds and stuff, instead of me having to go and keep downloading it from the fucking website, just have it where it can update in the app in the background, and it could just go, oh, where's the server update? You download it now, we'll reboot everything, and everything will be the way it should be. Your world's going to be there, everything's going to be there, all your settings are going to be in there if you want them to be, and there you go. I don't know why they don't do that. I don't know why Mojang never does that. Is it because they don't really want us to have our own Minecraft servers because they're really trying to promote their own servers, their own what is it called, Realms servers, and they just want me to pay them whatever it is, $4.99 a month or whatever it is, which it isn't bad, but why do I have to have their stupid server to run my Minecraft where it's just only me? And sometimes I'll have other people, but mostly it's me, and then I want to just be able to use it between my devices. Why is it that hard? Because it makes it a lot easier for me to jump in, play the games, and save it. Now, that's the major problem. Me not being able to. So it was a whole hassle, and I was like so worried because I'm like, oh, I put so much time and effort into this new Minecraft world that I've been working on for years now, and chipping away at rocks and stuff like that and doing stuff. And then I'm like, well, if the servers thing isn't going to work out for me, and I'm going to have to try to figure it out later down the road, or try to work on stuff. I didn't want to, because I already spent like 2 hours or 2.5 hours the other night trying to work on this Minecraft server and not getting anywhere with it, because it's like, it just didn't want to work. It just, for some reason, nothing was working. The cert thing was never coming off, and even though my whole computer and stuff was all updated to the very end and everything is top notch, and it's like nothing was working, and I'm like, I was just very frustrated and confused on that stuff. So I'm like, okay, server ain't working, nothing's working on this. Now what? Now what do I have to do to get this to all work? So pretty much, it's not. I'm like, the next step. Okay, how do I get my Minecraft server world to work with my Minecraft game as a game save? Because it's a different, it's the same code, but it's different because it's in a different wrapper and stuff. And then I found out it was as easy as, just save your world in a zip file and call it .mc world or something. I think it's called MC world or Minecraft world. And then you can just import it into Minecraft proper, and you can play your server world onto that world, and it can be your game save. And I'm like, okay, that's easy. When I first tried doing that, it wasn't working properly. It was like, failed to upload. I'm like, you gotta be fucking shitting me, because this world works. It's not corrupted or anything. It should work. And then I found out, I gotta put in the basic zip file. It can't be in this 7-zip that Microsoft has on the computer. It's the basic zip. So I did it in basic zip, put MC World, and I started using that, and it worked. And then I had to do weird things to just get it to work. First, I had to find the save files. I have the save file in that, but I had to find the PC save file area, because I'm like, well, where does it save all my Minecraft files and stuff in that thing? And I'm like, okay, you got the OneDrive, you got this, you got your packages, you got all that, because, they can't just keep it in the same folder as every other game save, because Microsoft puts on Windows a folder saying game saves. Why it just can't go into the game save folder, Microsoft? I don't fucking know. Why is it got to go 20 stories deep into the system, where you got to go through your MJ Buyer category, percentile, this app data, then you're going to go down to the next tier and the next tier and the next tier, and then you go into, finally get to Minecraft Mojang dot whatever, and then you go into that, and then you go to the save file, and then it should hopefully be there. Oh my God, why? Why does it do that? And then the biggest thing that I found out, and I don't know if this is recently started to happen, or if they're just doing it now, or it could be because I'm running this on Windows 11. It probably has a deeper lockdown, or they're locking down their games more for save files and stuff. So if I wanted to copy and paste my world from Minecraft, it does not work. It will not let you. It says these files are not able to be transferred. And I'm like, it's a fucking game save. It's not the game. It's not music. It's not copyright. It's my game save. My game save. And it won't let you do it. You have to go into the Minecraft game. You have to do export. And make sure when you export, you don't click on anything. Because if you click on like Minecraft template or whatever those other things, that can screw up your game save. Or two, if you go to the Minecraft template and you save it under that, it will not read it for some reason. I don't know why. Why does it have a function where it says Minecraft? Why doesn't it just say, oh, my Minecraft save? Why isn't there a little thing, Mojang, where it just says Minecraft save? Where I can just save my fucking Minecraft and download it so I can put it on something else. Because here's the big kicker I've been finding out. And I don't know why this is happening, because I do unfortunately have, well, I turn it off usually, but it's always starting up again. I do have OneDrive. Like, I don't think it's on right now on this, but you know, it's on my ROG Ally. OneDrive pops up if you want it or not. It's that little annoying whatever person that keeps coming back for more. And for OneDrive, and it's not, I don't even think that's the same thing as the cross save and gameplay or the cloud saves that you get being an Xbox Premium or Xbox Game Pass Premium member, you know, as me being the highest tier of Game Pass. How come my Xbox or my Minecraft save isn't going into the cloud? And how come when I go on my ROG Ally, it isn't showing up on my ROG Ally, even though I'm going into my Xbox account and playing under my account on my ROG Ally? So if I'm saving and I'm done playing it on my PC, and then eventually I go to my ROG Ally to play the same version of Minecraft and all that in my same account, it's supposed to be there, right? You would think my game save would show up from the cloud into that, and it doesn't. And it's supposed to update, and it doesn't. And I'm like, this is the reason why I had a Minecraft server, because I could just go to my Minecraft server, everything's saved at the server level, and everything's done, and then I just play it, and then I get off, and it's saved in the background. And that's how I did my cross-play and game saves and stuff. I could play on my Xbox, I could play on my ROG Ally, I could play on my PC, I could play on my phone, I could play at a friend's house, whatever. But because I can't do the server thing right now, everything doesn't work. And I'm like, has this been a problem for other people playing Minecraft? Or has everybody just been subscribing to Realms to play Minecraft and to do their saves and stuff and play on all their devices? Because if that's the case, fuck you, Microsoft and Mojang and everybody there. I even wrote a little, like, because they said, oh, if you got problems, because I went to the Mojang site and stuff, if you got problems or you got ideas or you got concerns and blah, 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 send us a message. And I did. I'm like, why isn't your server shit not working? Why couldn't you simplify your server shit? I understand that you guys have Realms, but I don't want to do Realms. I want to do my own personal stuff and my own backend. And it's for some reason I cannot make a new server. It's telling me I got cert problems and all this other shit. Even though my original server stuff worked perfectly fine. And why is this more complicated than it should be? Why don't you have an actual application where you just download it, go into it, and it'll keep updating in the background, and it'll make sure everything's working and stuff like that for me to put on my, my little Windows server. And it's a Windows machine too. It's a Windows 11 box too. So it should be a lot better at doing that stuff, and it's not. And it's really frustrating. And I wrote them that. I told them I don't care about Realms. I know about Realms. I'm talking about my own personal server. Or do they just want us not to have our own personal servers anymore? It's just like that whole thing where a lot of people have been talking, a lot of Minecrafters out there have been complaining about how they're not really updating the Java version as much anymore, that they're only updating the Bedrock version, which I gotta say, I love my Bedrock version. I think they do a good job on it. I know the Java version is the classic version and all that, but you don't get achievements and stuff in that. Not that I've been getting any achievements in Minecraft, but I could still get achievements in Minecraft if I want to. But they've been saying that, the original Minecraft and stuff, like, it's not at parity as the Bedrock edition one, that they think that Microsoft and Mojang and all of them are leaving it behind, that they might eventually just stop making updates to that, and then they just, not kill it, but, just put it out to pasture and make everybody come to the Bedrock. But if the Bedrock edition isn't working as well with stuff like this, and I can't do my own servers because they want us to be on their servers because they want money, there's problems to that, because you offer me the way to make my own server, and it's not that easy, and it should be easier. And not, like I said, I went and did the step-by-steps that everybody does to make these Minecraft servers, and for fuck's sake, I don't know why it isn't working. I don't know why it's not connecting to the outside world. I don't know why it's connected here. If somebody out there that's a server genius, like don't have to be a server networking genius, but if you're a networking person and you have Minecraft servers and stuff in your own house and you're using them via Windows, because that's what I do, because I'm like, I don't want to boot up Linux to just put my Minecraft server on, and I like my Windows box. Shout me out in an email or post something on my BlueSky or Twitter and send me a message, and maybe we could get to talking or something, because shit, I would love to have my server running again, but I don't know what's going on. And it never, like I said, people, it never used to be a problem. It was just easy for me to boom, drop. I added all my credentials. I should have the right thing from my address. I have the IPv4 address on there and everything, and for some freaking reason, it isn't working. And now I got to do this funky business because Xbox cloud saving or whatever isn't working correct. I don't know. I don't even know why it's not working for my cloud save. So if I want to play Minecraft on my PC one day, and then eventually I want to go to my ROG Ally, I got to have this now. This is a USB with a USB-C adapter to it, because my ROG Ally is a USB-C, and most of these USB thumb drives are USB. So I have to have this with my little USB-C dongle on it, so I can save my game save either from my ROG Ally or my PC, which is whatever is newer. And then I got to take this little guy, plug it into either my PC or my ROG Ally, and do the file save transfer thing, and that is bullshit. That is so bullshit, because I don't know why it's doing that, and I'm very frustrated on it. It never used to be a thing. I never used to have major problems with it. And I don't know if it's because of my mesh system. It shouldn't be, because like I said, I'm using my TP-Link mesh system, and I go in the settings and stuff on my app and stuff, and I put in the port openings for both IPv4 and 6, just in case. And everything is open for Minecraft and for UDP and TCP and all that stuff. I do remember all that stuff, see? So I do know what I'm talking about a little bit. I know a lot of you are like, what the fuck is he talking about? It's protocols for your router, so it keeps the bad guys out and the good guys in. And it has a thing where certain programs use certain protocols, which are gateways from your router to your internet, to your other machines and stuff, that lets certain programs bypass that so they can send data traffic to other things that can be used and shared for either games, files, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's the basic thing for it. And like I said, I put all that stuff in, I set up the server credentials, and zippo nada goose egg, and it's a problem. Now, there is going to be one more thing I'm going to be looking at eventually, and I'll be trying it out eventually. But it's going to be a sad thing if that works and this new box don't work, but it's something in the future I'm going to try. I'm not going to mention it right now, but if anybody's got any ideas on why my cert isn't certing, my certification, because I looked, it's hard to find out what certification isn't working, because like I said, my time and date area, everything is correct on my little new Windows box and stuff. And like I said, I just had it updated. It just updated to the latest Windows 11 patch and all that. I'm running out of patience and stuff for that. And I'm like, okay, now eventually I'm going to get upset because my game save transferring technique is annoying as hell. And sometimes I like to play on my PC, sometimes I like to play on my raw gal, and I just don't want to keep going back and forth with a fucking save pen to do that. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll have to get realms then. And I'm like, I don't want to get realms because then I got to pay them for something that I can do on my own. Because I got high-speed internet and a great network to do it on. And I'm just like, ugh. Other software doesn't give me the hassle. Like, I got my NAS drive, my NAS system on here. I can figure that shit out. When it wasn't working the one day, I figured that all out. I figured it out. It was the switch, and I fixed the switch and the switching and stuff, and that all works. Why isn't my Minecraft not working? And it's like, it's first person, first world problems, folks. It's a Mr. Mike problem. It's a stupid problem. I hate to say it. Hold on, I'm going to turn on the light over there. Not that it matters because I'm wearing sunglasses. And that's just for aesthetics, people. Even though these are prescription sunglasses, so I can see everything on the monitors better. But I'm just wearing these not to look cool, but I do look cool, don't I? Yeah. And I do got my glasses here, but I'm also wearing them because I wanted to see how I can see things better. And sometimes there's too much light coming from my ring light, but I want to keep it as bright coming on me as possible so you can see me in the video portion of this and stuff. And I was just keeping my eyes a little less shined upon this time because sometimes it gives you a headache and whatnot. But yeah, little stupid problems. I'm not too happy about it. I know Mojang does what Mojang does. I know they're underneath the Xbox Microsoft thing. But Mojang, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? Make an app. Make a nice WNP, what is it? UNP app. Make a WNP or UNP app for Windows. You don't even have to do Linux because Linux might be a little different. I don't know. But make the app. Make it so that I can just put in my save file in there. I can enter in my Microsoft credentials and stuff so you know it's me. And then you can go and the back end can check all the settings and stuff and see if the ports are open and the certs are certed and everything for me. And you can go and you can make it all work in the background where I don't have to mess with anything else. And then you can ask with little levers or something, change this, change that. Why can't you do an application like that? Why is it that I have to do these stupid things where I got to download a new application, drag and drop into this folder and update all the stuff on this folder? It's really stupid and really a hassle. And it's like, it's because they don't really care. They're doing it because they know people like me, but they don't really care about it because they're like, we got realms. We'll charge you $4.99 a month. Come on. Just pay us. It's okay. It's okay if you just pay us in our monthly subscriptions because that's what everything is, a monthly subscription. And you know what? Another thing, and I know this is probably be something like what World of Warcraft and other stuff is, but why can't I just have realms for free? I'm a Game Pass Plus, whatever, Game Pass Ultimate subscriber. You would think that because I've purchased Minecraft 10 million times over and I own Minecraft and I have Game Pass Ultimate and stuff, you'd think they would just include realms as a bonus for me for free. So if I want to have my online server through them, through Mojang or Xbox and stuff like that, that I don't need to pay $4.99 extra or whatever for because they're getting 20 plus something dollars from me every month, that would be a nice little perk. That'd be a nice perk, Phil Spencer and Xbox and Microsoft and everybody, Mojang. That'd be a nice little perk. So if you don't want to hear me complain and others complain about the server issue woes of our personal servers, maybe make realms free for us Game Pass subscribers. I would definitely dig that. I would be very happy. I would be going on my next podcast saying, hey, Mojang and Microsoft and Xbox, listen to me. They're not that bad at all. I pay them a lot of money for stuff, and hey, look, they're throwing us a bone here. I'm not saying making World of Warcraft for free because they're making probably a shit ton of money on World of Warcraft, but make realms free. Come on, it's just Minecraft. Shit, you're selling skins and everything else. Make realms free for at least for people that have Game Pass Ultimate. You know, that would be a nice little kicker. But will that happen? I don't think so. So back to this, and this was originally like a news story, but I'm going to talk about this anyways on here. But they did just update Minecraft with the Vibrant Visuals update, which gives Mojang's game a long-awaited visuals overhaul. It is not pure ray tracing, but it has ray tracing elements to it, which I think are very good, or at least very decent on what they're doing. And a lot of stuff in Minecraft now looks like it has been updated. It looks a lot better, visuals, how everything feels and stuff. And it did make some improvements to the game. So Minecraft was never designed, as they say here, with visuals as its key selling point. With endless sandbox landscape and unlimited customization, Mojang's now familiar pixelated graphics were never the main focus, even though I would want them to make a second Minecraft, even though the bastards won't make another Minecraft game. They'll make all these offshoots, but they won't make a Minecraft game. Minecraft's long-awaited Vibrant Visuals update just dropped on PC and a range of compatible consoles and smartphones, but not all platforms will get the upgrade. The game's classic Minecraft Java edition will also be left without it. Like I told you guys, they're trying to maybe get away from the Java version more and more, probably to also keep it pure. And two, they want to focus just on Bedrock and everything else because it's easier for them. Still, if you're playing the main Minecraft Bedrock, plus if you have the Java edition, which we can all have because they have it, you can go behind and do all the extra modding to it, and you could get ray tracing and stuff working in the Java version of Minecraft, so it doesn't really matter. So you could already had ray tracing in that version. You just don't get achievements and stuff. That's the only thing. And I'm stupid like that because I used to play the Java version all the time. If you're still playing the main Minecraft Bedrock edition on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, or certain Android and iOS devices, the Vibrant Visuals is available now as part of the game's wider Chase the Skies update. Chase the Skies adds writable happy ghast creatures to the game's overworld. I did not know that. I'll have to check that out. Writable, eh? Following years of stress caused by their meaner cousins who spit fireballs in the nether, you can now also leash a chain of camels together to create a resource transporting caravan. Really? Huh. And track down your friends faster with the player locator HUD bar. Yeah, they got some stuff like that, but if you can't play with your friends, it doesn't matter. If you play Minecraft on an older console, such as a PS4 or Xbox One, or if you play it on an older Android phone, you will need to manually switch to the Vibrant Visuals option via the game's video settings menu. Mojang warns that the performance may degrade for these devices, especially if you're doing a lot with it. If you're in big open world, yeah. On PC or smartphone, you need the following tech specs. For Android, Adreno 640, Mali G68, Mali G77, or Xclipse 530 or higher. What do I have? I have the Snapdragon in here. They haven't. Is that ain't Adreno? Snapdragon. I got the most powerful Snapdragon. So, and I had it working on my phone. Like I had it running on my phone, and it looks great on my phone. But I don't play Minecraft on my phone anymore. That's when I was younger, and Minecraft was just new on phones and stuff. That was before it came out on Switch and stuff, and Vita and stuff like that. I was playing it on a phone. iOS A12 or M1 or higher. PC running Minecraft on DirectX 12, which of course my main PC definitely does, and my like I said, my ROG Ally definitely runs stuff. It just doesn't have all the ray tracing stuff. It has the other stuff. Split screen multiplayer, custom worlds, and texture packs are not currently supported by the Vibrant Visuals either. So custom worlds, I don't get that. What do they mean by custom worlds? Do they mean like the world I have where I'm digging and stuff, custom like that? Because that is something I've been building in their texture. I don't know. It's weird how they say it because it all looks... It must not be that because I'm getting the visuals and stuff like that, so it's probably not that. I don't know what they mean by custom worlds, though. I really don't. Maybe it's something more than I'm doing. But it works. It seems to work on my PC. And I can go switch to this, too, so I might as well switch to this. Give me a second here. You're going to see some funkiness here. Let me go to Studio. Let me go to my thing here. So yes, they're doing better on their graphical. Minecraft is now at last listed as Xbox Series X and S optimized. Since 5 years since the current console is launched. Vibrant visuals finally makes good on Microsoft's promise to launch a better graphical upgrade for Minecraft, first mentioned back in 2017 when a fancy trailer released for the later canceled Super Duper graphics pack at the time, which that was going to be a pure Mojang, or should I say ray tracing update. Mojang stated that this upgrade would arrive on Xbox One and Project Scorpio would became Xbox One X. Now finally something similar has arrived. And here we go. I'm going to go here. I got some stuff here. This is some video footage I have taken from my gameplay as you guys are watching this on the podcast video version of the show. Look at it. Everything looks a lot better. The graphics, the ground, the pixels, the flames, the glowing. You could see the fog and the glowing and everything in the game. It just, and I'm just walking through here just to show off, and then I get a little faster. But everything just looks so much better. The rain, the creatures. Look at the cow. Look at the steer and the sheep and stuff. Look at that steer. A little bit more, a little bit better looking. He has more texture to him. The sheep looks a little bit better than the original sheep. You know, they did upgrade a lot of the stuff. Like I said, the flames, the glows to everything, the shine on stuff. Everything just looks and plays and runs a lot better. I'm just looking at everything and everything's glowing. Look at the chicken. The chicken looks more like a chicken. Holy shit. It's got some feathery looks to it. Look at those chickens. Those look like good damn chickens after I just killed them. And I was trying to find like creepers and stuff here. I haven't seen a creeper. I'll fast forward through this. Hold on. I can fast forward through this. I will probably be doing another video. I'll be doing a Minecraft Mining Mayhem video. So I'll be showing this shit off as well on that. But I was going through my world here. And I see a spider. The spider looks the same. Some creatures look the same or similar. But if you look here, you can see the water textures. Here's a zombie. He looks pretty much the same, maybe a little bit better, but everything else looks better. Look at the water textures. Look at the shimmers and shines off the water, especially when the rain goes into it. Look at the glowing of the lighting and stuff, textures. That is some good shit. That is some really good shit. And my graphics card I was hearing it go a little bit. Look at that shine. Look at that water. The glistening in Minecraft, the glistening water in Minecraft. That looks good. That looks really sharp for Minecraft. That's something that's really cool. That makes Minecraft a lot better looking. Look at that. Just the water. If you see some good water, that's some good Minecraft water right there. And you can see a little, is those blocks or something else in the water? But yeah, everything looks really good in this update. Oh, there's a creeper. I was going up to a creeper to see if the creeper looked different. Creeper looks like a creeper. The creeper was creeping. I even killed the creeper. You'll be seeing that in shortly. I was just jumping down, trying to be really careful. Creeper still looks like the creeper. You know? Like I said, a lot of the enemies, a lot of the stuff still looks like their cells, and I kept going in the chat by accident. But yeah, he's a creeper. He looks cool. And I killed him eventually, but everything played better. My HUD looks better. Minor differences, but it's basically the lighting, the shimmering, the stuff like that, that ray trace effects. Like there's more fish in the water as well. There's the better looking fish. You can see some glowing in the background over there. That looks really cool. Just the lighting and the shadows and the reflections. It's just really good. That's some like ray tracing, basic ray tracing right there. That's some. Even though they say it's not ray tracing, it's like whatever they call it, their fake ray tracing, but it looks really good for their fake ray tracing. So, yeah, and what else did I do? I was climbing up. Oh, yeah, the skeleton. I got almost got by the skeleton. I eventually killed the skeleton. The skeleton looks good, but I had to kill him. And then you look later, you see the camos here, which surprisingly they don't have a master with them. Usually they do. Then you see my building, and then of course you see quickly go past my screen, which killed me later, was one of those Endermans. I hate those Endermans. They're so annoying, especially when they steal the wrong blocks. I don't care if you steal blocks from the mountain or anywhere else. Don't steal it from my home. Don't steal it from my skyscraper over there. But yeah, you can see my windows are glistening. You can see the lighting, especially off my building and the water. Just really, really good. And then I got another video here. Great for podcasting, folks. You can see the sunrise and sunset. This is when it's raining. This is when it's raining, and it looks beautiful. You get the misty fog part of it, and when the sun's rising and the rain is still going. Oh my God, and you see all the lights and the shadows and stuff all around. And I'm like, wow, this looks really good. This makes Minecraft look 1,000 times better. The blocks look a lot better. Everything does look a lot better visually, and that's what they wanted to do. And I'm like, shit, if you can make a Minecraft 2 and you can make like more than your 4x4 blocks and you can make it even more, then that'd be pretty cool. But like I said, I doubt we'll ever get that, but you never know. Never know. But look at that in the cloud formations. And I guess they said they have better weather effects as well, which I did see. I did see the better weather effects later on when I was not filming anything. It had better like the textures of the weather, like the thunder and lightning storms were more intense and cooler and stuff. And there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's overall a very good update. I just wish that they would update like other stuff so people like me could go play their games and do their game saves, because Minecraft's supposed to support online cloud saves, and for some reason it isn't doing its online cloud save, and it's supposed to support stuff. And if I go on my Rogue Ally at the same time here's another funny thing. I can go on my Android phone version of Minecraft and play in my Minecraft world. Like my world, like if I'm on my Rogue Ally or my PC, it can see and I can play like 2-player Minecraft via my phone and my PC. But if I want to play Minecraft with did I have a phone call or something? Oh, it's just something else going on here. If I wanted to play Minecraft via my Rogue Ally and my PC, I can't do that because it's on the same account, which is bullshit because I have Game Pass Ultimate, and you should be able to have more than one person in the household be able to play on the same thing. But I guess that's not the thing, even though it's all mine in my own house and stuff. That's one of those reasons why I'm like, I could do all this other stuff with my server, but I can't do it with this. But yet I could play via my phone as a second player and my thing. And it's like, how? How is that working, but the other stuff isn't? So a lot of networking issues with this game. And like I said, the game save thing, if I got to keep doing this, I might have to just pony up and do some Realms subscriptions. I've done it before. It's not that expensive, but it's annoying it's just something that's annoying that I have to do, and I shouldn't have to do it. I shouldn't have to subscribe to Minecraft on that. It's just really stupid. And I've talked a long time about Minecraft here, didn't I? It's just really annoying that they kind of made Minecraft a little worse, even though they've been making it a little bit better throughout the time. But I don't know. I guess people aren't complaining that much about that stuff. I am. Others aren't. I wish they would do a better job at making Minecraft work better, especially if you want to do your own servers and whatnot. I guess that's just not what they want to do. They want you to get realms. They want to push you towards realms. They want to make it more challenging for you to make your own server, even though it all worked before and now it doesn't. It's like, okay, thank you. Not. Anyways, the game save functions, and I tried it again today before I was recording. I was like, okay, I was playing more on my ROG Ally. Does the PC version match the ROG Ally version? Vice versa, because I got the game saves on there. And no, neither one of them updated, and I'm like, why? Why? That's all I want. I just want to be able to play the game on one device and go to another device and play without any worries, but why? Plus the fact that, how about if Realms is down or something? How about if Microsoft's network, cloud network, Azure cloud is down? Which happens. It happens a lot more than it doesn't, like other servers out there. At least I know if mine's down, I know it's because of me. Not because Microsoft or somebody fucked up or something, you know what I mean? It's on me. Sad state of affairs about that. But what more can I say? What can I do on that? Nothing, can I? We got more Microsoft talk to talk about, like future hardware and consoles and announcements, and how Sony and PlayStation's about to do this, try to talk the same talk and stuff, and Nintendo's talking about how the Switch 2 has been the most supreme selling console ever, which I'm like, okay, initially it is. What's going to happen down the road in the near future? Is the Switch 2 going to keep selling like it is, or is those sales going to start petering off a little bit when people are getting bored of the same stuff? Because all they got is Mario Kart World right now, and that Donkey Kong Bonanza looks really good, and I really would love to get Donkey Kong Bonanza. And then a lot of the other games are just games that have been out on elsewhere and stuff. Sure, there's probably a few titles that are new, but mostly a lot of those games are just up-res, the updated games that have been elsewhere, and they're all being ported to Switch 2, or they're backwards compatible with Switch 2. But Mario Kart World's getting really mixed reviews, and I can agree with most people saying I think Mario Kart World is kind of a bummer, even though I haven't played it. But every time I'm hearing other people, other podcasters out there, or watching people play Mario Kart World, it's fun, it's limited fun, but once you just do the open world and stuff, it's just a bummer. It's just a Gears 5 situation where it's a big open world they created, and they got nothing in there to do. I thought it would be more like a Forza Horizon situation, but no, it's more of a Gears 5 situation where you got a great game and you design this huge open world like in Gears 5 where it's just all this desert or whatever, and then you don't barely put anything in it, and you got to go through this whole stupid desert thing just to get to checkpoint to checkpoint to do stuff. And it's the same in Mario Kart World. And then they want to charge you $80 for this game, and I don't think it's worth $80. They should have just kept it at $70, or maybe even $65 if they wanted. If I was thinking, because it's so limited. But Donkey Kong Bonanza looks really good. I even watched the little direct for Donkey Kong Bonanza. That looks really good. That's a game that I will definitely be wanting to get and play on the ROG Ally. And you get baby Pauline in there as well, or little girl Pauline, and that is weird. It's weird and crazy that they have Pauline as a child, barefoot child Pauline, in like little suspender short outfit in this Donkey Kong Bonanza. That was a surprise. I didn't know she was going to be like a tag-along partner. There's more in the news about that, but that looks really cool. But like I said, I'm still firm in my belief that I will wait a couple years for the Switch 2. Like I said, I will eventually get a Switch 2. I will wait till they eventually say, hey, we got an OLED version of the Switch 2 coming out and blah, 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 and updated specs, internals and stuff a little bit here and there. I will wait. I do think I will buy some games, though, for it eventually. I will wait for some games to maybe go down in price a little bit, especially when, it doesn't really matter if you buy physical. I'm only going to try to buy physical games mainly. I know they're mostly keycard games now. There's a few to the exception of the rule, but I will buy them because I just want the cover art and stuff from those games. And if they do go on sale, like on Amazon or Walmart or something, I will pick those games up and buy them. But I will get Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'll buy that game and I'll just keep it until I get a Switch 2. I'll maybe buy Mario Kart World down the road. Unless if I get a bundle, if they still offer like a bundle with Mario Kart World for the OLED version or something, I don't know. But I might get that eventually. I want to get Cyberpunk 2077 for it. Not that I'll ever play it, but they say they're like the only ones with the full game, plus the Phantom Liberty DLC as well on that card. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll get that as well, just to have it, just to say, hey, look, Cyberpunk's on a Switch. Like I did with Skyrim. I never played Skyrim, really. I played it for like 2 seconds, and Doom. I played a lot of Doom 2016 on my original Switch, but I just have those games because they said they were able to have them and play them on there, and I just wanted to have them as a collectible thing. So that's mainly what I'm going to do, but otherwise, going forward, I will wait, because there's another ROG Ally coming out, the Xbox ROG Ally, or officially the ROG Xbox Ally, but I'm going to call it the Xbox ROG Ally. That's what I would want. So we're going to talk here about what Microsoft's talking about and their whole dealings with AMD and what Sony's doing, because that's what's going on. And we're going to talk about that right next. This will not affect you. It's just me. I'm going to pause for the cause, but because of editing and all that, you will not notice a thing. So I'll be right back in 1 nanosecond. Okay, everybody, you do not know anything. But, okay. I was just resetting the timer because I had to take a little break. But back, so we're talking about Microsoft and how they got a new initiative here, mostly scaling back on hardware, even though they are still going deep into hardware with like the Xbox. Like I was talking about it last time. Is Microsoft done with hardware? Well, maybe in the handheld generation, at least for now. But for the console generation, apparently they're going to still keep going at it, even though I am sure that if price be that, unless if they're going to try to make this next Xbox a more so full-on console, meaning a PC console instead of just a console, maybe they're more so touting this future next generation Xbox as a all-in-one like console meets PC, using probably like some Windows features, but also having it as a console for people that aren't PC centric to maybe go and get. So Sarah Bond, I guess she got out there to announce, which they didn't need to do, but they're just doing it because it's all a lot of I don't know, should we say corporate tech speak for Xbox? And I'm sure AMD would announce it eventually because they want to say, hey, guess what? Hey, Microsoft's going to stick with us. So basically, Microsoft, aka Sarah Bond, announced that Microsoft confirms first-party next-generation Xbox console, also announces a new deal with AMD, and promises full backwards compatibility with your existing Xbox library going forward, which that was their whole messaging before. And basically they're saying, yeah, they were promising, full backwards compatibility before, and they've been doing it since, they've been doing some of the Xbox originals. They did most of the 360 games that they could do, and all the Xbox One games are definitely backwards compatible going forward. I think most of them. I don't know if there's any that aren't, maybe the Kinect ones, but otherwise going forward, they're saying that all these games are going to be full backwards compatible with your existing Xbox library. But if this is going to be what a lot of people are talking about or mentioning, with grains of salt, of course, will this next gen Xbox console be, like I said, more PC than just a regular box going forward, running like a special version of Windows or something, which they are also trying to work on with the Windows team over at Microsoft. Xbox is trying to work with the Windows team to make Windows a lot better and play a lot better with these future handhelds and stuff like that, and current handhelds and stuff for gaming, to shut down a lot of the stuff that Windows boggles down in resources and put all that power towards the games so they can put beefier games on these systems going forward and stuff. And hopefully for the future, get 3 Xbox original games, 360 games, Xbox One, and etc., to be playable on your next Xbox ROG Ally or Xbox Portable, or even PC if you're running their Xbox app or something, and not just sort of streaming backwards compatibility, but full on, if you own a digital copy of this game, because it's got to be a digital copy, because I don't think they're going to create a whole feature to get disk-based games to work as backwards compatible games going forward, even though I'm sure the next Xbox might have a drive. If not, then consider all your discs obsolete going forward. But if it is all digital, then that means all your digital titles they want to try to create. And if they got all those digital titles, and if they're still sellable, or they're still in your library and you own them, and they still have stuff with them, hopefully rights it's all the content rights and stuff to be if that's all could go forward, then you can be able to play all these games all the way to the original Xbox digitally on your next gen console, or your ROG Ally, or your PC, etc. That's running probably some proprietary, which Windows is all proprietary, but the next Xbox app, future app in Windows or ROG Ally and stuff like that, which I don't know what this next gen Xbox ROG Ally or ROG Xbox Ally is going to tout, if it's just going to be the Xbox store just revamped for that, or if there's going to be some legitimacy where I can play some of my digital library of my Xbox on it. That is still to be debated. There is no word yet on any of that stuff. But if they want if they're still doing the promise of full backwards compatibility, they're going to need to get all these titles, not just the 1,000 titles that they currently have, but full titles digitally, not just streaming, but digitally, to be able to be played off your device or devices. So that's going to be something that they're going to have to do, which, sure, it's probably very hard, but also don't forget Xbox is Microsoft, and Microsoft has, if they don't fire more people or a lot more people, they have a lot of people, contractors. They got a lot of software coders, Windows team, all these people, Xbox, everybody knows a lot of coders over there. I'm sure they can figure out a way to get all this stuff to work either on your handheld or a next Xbox or something, and if they're, like I said, if it's all digital, maybe even provide better backwards compatibility for the future. I don't know. I'm just trying to think here. I don't care if they don't have everything, because there is, like I said, licensing, but if they can have a majority of my digital games that I would still play being able to be backwards compatible and play, I would definitely like that. But going forward, I would just like it going forward, games from not just them, but third parties to be able to be played on my ROG Ally or, my PC without having to buy it off of other people's storefronts. That's the big problem. Like I always say, Assassin's Creed Shadows. I would love to buy that from Ubisoft. Ubisoft, I would pay you $70 right now to be able to play Assassin's Creed Shadows on my PC or my ROG Ally, but there's a small problem with that. I can't get it on the Xbox store because you guys do not provide the game. And that is something Microsoft, aka Xbox, has to, convey to these third parties and try to get these third parties. Sure, I can get it on... No, can I? Yeah, I can get it on Steam. I don't want to buy it from the Ubisoft store, but like I said, I also am in that ecosystem where I want my Xbox achievements and stuff because I'm an Xbox Achievo whore, and I want to be able to get my Xbox achievements unless if they're going to do something with the Steam games and stuff and I can get Xbox achievements that way or something. That would be cool if they partnered up. I doubt Steam would play ball with that or anybody else, but if I really want to play these games on my ROG Ally and Xbox, I want my achievements, or my PC, I should say, and Xbox or ROG Ally. But like I said, you got some third parties out there that are still putting out these games willy-nilly and whatnot. Oh, only on Steam, only on the Epic Store, stuff like that, but not putting it out on the Xbox PC store, which, like I said, I think is decent. I think the store has gotten a lot better, and I try to purchase many games as I can that are not only play anywhere, which you can play on your Xbox or PC or ROG Ally, etc., but that I can just, like I said, play them on the PC. And I don't care about, version numbers and all that other bullshit. I just want to play the stuff where I want to play it, and I want to play it the way I want to play it. Sure, like I said, I can get these games on Steam and stuff, but like I said, a lot of these games that I'm going to be spending tons of hours in and normally would get achievements in, I would like to get them on my, Xbox device. We'll see what it goes for, because if Microsoft is trying to tout that, that's how it should go. But, like I said, they got to play with the third parties and all the other bullshit, and it's a big mess. It's a lot of mess out there, and a lot of these companies just don't want to play ball, especially because Microsoft isn't at least number one in hardware sales. But, if the software-wise, if they become number one and whatnot, unless if they decide to buy more companies, I don't know. Maybe Ubisoft will still be in trouble, and they will be like, hey, we'll buy Ubisoft now. I don't know. If that's the only way to do it. Hey, Take-Two, we'll buy you for 10 points. Or 80, it'd probably have to be like $100 billion. It couldn't be like 10 point something billion. Take-Two would be worth a lot of money, probably 150 billion or something for Take-Two. If you think about it, with all the stuff they have property-wise, plus I'm sure they want to sell, but I'm just saying, maybe get Warner Brothers games finally. I don't know, because they're splitting all that shit up because they're not doing so hot, but can't just keep buying studios and people, you got to try to get these people back on track. And if this is the way to get third parties back on track, and then opening up your storefronts and stuff like that on the Xbox side, that's a good way. As long as I can get the achievements, because that's what I'm about. And that's what a lot of people are about, is their achievements and stuff like that, and the rewards and all that, which is good. Because that's what I like. I like getting achievos instead of trophies and other shit that other people provide. But they are continuing their partnership with AMD for the next generation. They announced a new contract. They're designing and building another slew of Xbox first-party devices and cloud, including our future Xbox consoles with AMD, with the chipsets and stuff. They didn't detail any plans, because why would they? Because they're still very early on in the plans and stuff. And what they always say, like they said the last time, like they said before, and they're going to keep saying again, which is a bunch of bullshit, corporate jargon, but they talk about next level performance, cutting edge graphics, breakthrough gameplay, and unmatched compatibility. It's also said everything is working. It's working on will be fully compatible with users' existing Xbox game library, which it better be. That's the biggest thing. You know, Sony isn't doing that. They do some streaming stuff, but they still don't do even attempt to do backwards compatibility. They don't do it. If they do it, they don't do it really right over there. And Nintendo, they're only backwards compatible with maybe one or two systems, and then they go on to the next system. And then it's like, hey, you got to buy everything anew, or we'll sell you all new updated versions of these games and stuff. At least that's what they did from the Wii U and stuff, and GameCube, and they to the Wii and stuff and all that. None of your stuff's carried over. And I'm pretty sure after the Switch 2, which the Switch 2 just began, but down the road when they make a Switch 3 or whatever, will that be backwards compatible with your Switch 2 and 1 games? I don't know. Don't think so. But all that bullshit of, oh, it's going to be more powerful, cutting edge. Okay, if you're going to tout this as a gaming computer console, that's what you got to say it is. It's going to be, say it's a PC and a console, or a console and a PC, blah, 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 and it's making it for the living room. And that's how it's going to go going forward. It's not going to be the cheapest thing, but it's going to run your games at 4K that you want, or 120 or 240 hertz and stuff. It might be upgradable or in some way or whatever. Maybe it'll allow you to finally put your own M.2 drives in the damn machine instead of trying to sell you these proprietary memory cards and stuff like that, like Sony will probably try to do going forward, because they want to try to make money on something. But like I said, I barely use my Xbox Series X as much as I do. I used to use it a lot more, but because more and more titles I can get are PC Xbox and stuff like that, I can play them on my ROG Ally and my PC. I just been going and doing that going forward, and that is just something that that is what I want. That's what I want to do. Also, they were talking about, which I should just leave out. I'm not gonna say this. I'll talk about Sony now. So Sony also came out and had to say some shit too, because everybody has to say their shit. Sony's talking about, oh yeah, we got a rumored PlayStation handheld may share a key, and this is all grain of salt leaker shit. This is from the Kepler L2, which I think I heard rumors from him, and they were pretty much true before. But apparently the rumors stated that Sony is officially working on their next-gen PlayStation handheld, and also PlayStation 6. They also touted that they are talking about PlayStation 6 early on stages for that, which, okay. But the handheld, something they're going to do that is they're borrowing like a key feature from the PS5 Pro, which is basically the memory. They're talking about memory bandwidth, and they're talking about, we want more memory bandwidth with our handheld, just like our consoles, because we believe that's the shortcoming with like gaming handhelds nowadays and other PCs and consoles and stuff. They want a faster memory bandwidth, so when you're playing your games, they load faster, they do this faster, the graphics go better and stuff like that. And it makes a lot of fucking sense, And I'm pretty sure the next Xbox ROG Ally and stuff, when I was looking at the chipsets and stuff and looking at the memory bandwidth, I'm like, okay, that seems it's using that LPP DDR5X whatever super fast memory bandwidth as well. So I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure that these handhelds from other people are going to go just as fast, and plus you can utilize the M.2 drives in them as well for added bandwidth and stuff like that, because they're solid state, and I wouldn't see why not on that. But basically, Sony wants to make sure that their handheld system, their PlayStation handheld, is going to be running at least almost as fast as their PS5 memory and stuff. So they're talking about it'll come equipped with 16 gigabytes of DDR5X RAM, a third of the base PS5's memory bandwidth, 4 megabytes of L2 cache, but with 16 megabytes of mall cache, and will be powered by also an AMD chip. So they're also going to be using AMD for their chips going forward and for their handheld, of course. Also, interestingly, it's stated that the insider also claims it will feature AI upscaling tech, just like what AMD is doing and NVIDIA is doing and everybody else. PlayStation or Sony also does for the PlayStation 5. They use that PS5 Pro's PSSR or PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, so they're going to do the AI thing like everybody else is, which they state will improve image quality in supported games, offering sharper and more detailed images, similar to NVIDIA's DLSS or AMD's tech as well. Moreover, since the base PS5 comes with 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, which, okay, that seems slower than the other stuff. The alleged PlayStation handheld is looking to be a powerful system, but unlike other PC gaming consoles with the same specs, such as a Lenovo Legion Go or Asus ROG Ally, although the recent Lenovo Legion Go S already supports 32 gigs of RAM. Reports state that Sony is developing the next-gen gaming handheld console have been swirling since last year. We already know that. Also suggested it would be able to play PS5 games natively with PSSR, now tipped to be coming, which that's something that Sony needs to do. They need to not separate their console from their handhelds going forward. They did that in the past. It worked well with the PSP generation, but when they went to Vita, nobody was wanting to develop software for the Vita. And of course, the cost with their external memory cards, all the bullshit memory cards and all that stuff and everything else, it was just not likely a thing that people wanted to do, or wanted to develop for. Even Sony proper didn't want to develop for it. And then you got their PSVR 2, which, the PSVR 1 was a big seller and they sold a lot of software for it, but the PSVR 2 isn't being really supported. Sure, there's still stuff trickling out that state that they support it and stuff, and that there's sort of stuff coming out for it, but it's just, hacked on stuff for it. But if they want their PlayStation Next Portable or whatever it's going to be called, the PS5 Portable or whatever, they're going to need to have that machine at least run PlayStation 5 games. And I would have to say, maybe add some backwards compatibility with PS4 and Vita and PS2. Some of those other devices going forward, which that would bring even more people back to PlayStation and want to buy their handheld. Even though it's going to be fast RAM with the DDR5X RAM, 16 gigabytes, that seems a little low for nowadays, especially for them, for consoles. I know they can squeeze it out and, do it, and that's what their big consoles do. They only use 16 gigs of RAM, but nowadays, the more the RAM, the better running the software and the graphics and all that. It's just how it is. And I've been saying that for a long time. A lot of people say, oh, no, it's not just the RAM. It's the bottleneck is the CPU and all that. But the CPUs are getting better and faster. And AMD's making these better and faster CPUs for portables, which they're making directly and stuff. So, and that use better cooling and better, electric processing and stuff like that. That's not really the issue. The issue is how much RAM is this going to be able to have so you can run the game, background operations, and run extra for the graphics and stuff like that on top of it, so you can have that 3-layer cake there that makes a sweet gaming experience for any handheld. Now, like I said, my Asus ROG Ally does a decent job of it, but it's got 16 gigs of RAM, so it can only do so much. The next one, because I'm skipping the ROG Ally X, the Xbox ROG Ally is going to have that 32 gigs of RAM, and it's going to have a faster 32 gigs RAM, and it's going to have that better processor and stuff on there, and that's going to do I think, gangbusters for gaming that is this generation or even next generation, because it's going to be leaping ahead above on what that stuff is and probably have less bottlenecks, especially if Microsoft and Asus and all work together, and Xbox and Windows teams get the software of Windows in the background running a lot better and smaller and using less resources, so they can put the rest of those resources to the games and such on those devices, because that's what they're mostly going to be for. Sure, you can use a ROG Ally, like I said, for as a PC, but mostly we're going to be playing games on them. So, but if Sony can do it with this, that's going to be great. I would wish they would have bumped up from 16 to 32 gigs of RAM on their system as well, if they want to really truly go like and make it like a next gen system. I know memory is expensive and RAM is expensive, so I can understand why they're not really wanting to do that, and they're going to do that. Plus, most of the first party games and stuff that they're making is all under that memory bandwidth and under that memory, going forward, especially when they're using DDR4 RAM in their PlayStation base PS5s. And they're using the DDR5X RAM for their PS5 Pro, I think. So they should be good with it. And I know other third parties that make games for their PS5 should be good with that. And if they can keep that and it can work good on the handheld, then they might have something going. But they can fuck it up easily. Sony, likes to tout with their hardware and stuff, and it could be very expensive as well, which I'm sure it will be. They can screw something up, and if they do, then nobody's going to buy that handheld. A lot of people have purchased that PlayStation Portal, which also can now run PS5 games on it, but through the cloud-based gaming, as they were talking about. And of course, you're going to need a strong internet connection for that they were talking about, because it's just basically an Android device attached to a controller. And then, of course, there's no official word from Sony about their upcoming PlayStation handheld yet. And people are suggesting that we will see this thing maybe be talked about or come out around 2027 or enter production or mass production in 2028. So it's still a ways away, just like, Microsoft was talking about. But their handheld system before, they basically, I think, killed it because Asus and other third parties, and they're more so banking on third parties making their hardware for them, their handheld hardware for them instead of them, because let's just say maybe some of these PC vendors know how to make hardware, these hardware PC vendors out there. And Microsoft's more of still a software company, even though they do dabble in hardware sometimes. But like I said, I think they're trying to get more so out of making hardware themselves and trying to branch out to third parties, but also maybe keep the Xbox itself, the console, as their one and only hardware, at least for now, going forward, if people still want a box for their underneath their TVs and not a PC or a ROG Ally. So a lot of talk there about that stuff, and it is geeky, but it is really interesting on how they're all focusing on this hardware, Sony and Microsoft and stuff. More so Microsoft's helping third parties with it, and Sony's taking the approach where they're going to try to keep everything in their own ecosystem going forward, just like Nintendo does in their own little ecosystems, and Microsoft's more so branching out and saying even, hey, we'll even let third parties sell games on our system, in their storefronts going forward, like definitely Steam, Epic Games and stuff like that with their Epic game store and stuff like that. So Microsoft's taking the open approach, because don't forget, Apple just got slapped on the wrist. Well, they got beat with a big steel stick saying, hey, you got to open up your storefronts and stuff for people like, Epic Games and everybody else to be able to sell third-party games to sell. So Microsoft's probably taking a page out of that book and getting ahead of all of that, saying, we don't want to be litigated against. We want to keep this open. We want to look like the better people for gamers and others going forward. So we're going to make sure that our hardware is more, even though it's still closed, we're going to try to make it more open so people will come to our system and buy our games, or even if they don't buy our games directly from us and they buy it from, well, buy third-party seller games on Steam and stuff, they can sell it on there. But we'll try to entice these third parties to also sell on our storefront, on our Xbox PC storefront, so we can sell these games to you for your ROG allies and stuff like that. And that's all I want. I want to be able to get my games wherever the games are sold, digitally or digitally online, from Valve, from Xbox. I don't want the splintering effect. I want to be able to purchase Ubisoft games on the Xbox store no matter what I'm playing on Xbox or Xbox handheld. I should be able to do that with ease. And if I want to buy it on Steam or Xbox, whatever, I'd rather, but like I said, for achievements, Xbox. So a lot of different innovations. And like I said, Sony keeping in a closed ecosystem. I don't know if that's going to help or hurt them. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes, because this is the next war. This is the next future handheld console war, software war. And that's another thing. Sony and it's got to get more games coming. They got to make more games, better, first party games, not these open online. What do they call them? Not pay to play, but these what are they called? More so the evolved. What do they call it? Is it just? I forget the term. There's so many damn stupid terms out there, but the mostly online type of games that they've been touting and saying, oh, yeah, this is this kind of game online and this online and this online. No. People want sometimes some straightforward shoot games going forward, and I'm one of them. I don't play games online really. I'd rather play them straight on there. There's a few exceptions to that rule, like Splatoon 3, by the way, and some others, but I mostly like to play my games as single player in my house games. I don't have anybody else to play with. Sure, if some games offer split screen or multiplayer, good, but I want the game itself. So why don't we get into the games news? Because frankly, I don't got much time left. And frankly, we got a lot of stuff that we talked about already. And like I said, I'm interested in all hardware. Whoever can, if Sony, before I go to the games news, let me say this. I know I usually hate on Sony and the PlayStation and stuff, but that's only because I knew Sony and the PlayStation back when they were all about the games and they were the scrappy fighters and stuff. Even though they're a giant corporation, they were always scrappy with the PS2, the PS3 even though that fumbled out of the gate, I still got a PS3 because there were still great games that I wanted to play on it. But going forward with the PS4, even though I was excited about it and I tried it out, I just didn't like the stuff. I didn't like the controller and how it felt and how small it was. I didn't like the games, and not many games came out for it that I liked. And the games that did, they eventually started selling on Steam, so I bought a few of those games on Steam. And going forward, if they keep selling games on Steam, that's how I'm going to buy them on Steam, and then I'll play them on my PC eventually, or my ROG Ally, or my Xbox ROG Ally, because I'll be able to play Steam games on that with greater memory and bandwidth and all that stuff, especially if I have 32 gigs of RAM and a next-gen processor. I'll be able to play stuff like Ratchet and Clank, what is it, a Shift in Time or whatever it's called. I could probably play that with greatest ease. I haven't tried that game out yet. I also got that Horizon Zero Dawn game that was on sale. I got a bunch of Spider-Man games I want to get back into again. Stuff like that. I liked playing Spider-Man on my ROG Ally, and I didn't have to get an Xbox or a PlayStation to do that. Because it's like, well, the hardware's expensive. I don't play many games on it. I'm more of an achievements guy, especially, now. And Sony isn't showing me too many things. And when they start putting these games on PC, I'll rather buy their stuff on PC, especially when it's on sale, That's just how I do it. That's me. I know a lot of people are just diehard PlayStation fans, and then you got people like me that are now diehard Xbox fans, and I've been one for a long time now. Unless if they start going down really downhill, which I was always afraid of, and it seemed like it before. But it seems like Sony's got some catching up to do with that stuff. And right now they got a big fan base. They got a lot of people buying PS5s, but that's slowing down. That's been slowing down a lot. And they haven't been selling as many as they used to. And Nintendo, well, Nintendo's Nintendo. Like I said, they're the Apple of the video game world. They will always have something. We'll see how the Switch 2 performs down the road during the holidays, after the holidays, after its first year. Will those sales start dipping and tanking, or will they continue to go? Will they have enough stock and supply to keep selling them? You know, will there be enough new games coming for the Switch 2? That's why I'm waiting. Like I said, whoops, what happened? Oh, I froze there for a second. I don't know what happened there. Was it just me or the camera? I saw myself freeze. I don't know if that was just me. I didn't see any skip frames or anything, so okay, maybe it was just me. But like I said, I will wait till the Switch 2 becomes an OLED Switch 2 down the road, and I will buy it. And like I said earlier, I might buy some of those games, and I will have some fun with those games on my Switch 2 OLED down the road. But as of right now, happy with just being Xbox, PC, stuff like that. ROG Ally. Future, maybe ROG Ally in the future of the Xbox ROG Ally. So why don't we get into the game's news, and we'll see what we can get done with. Let's see here. I don't have much time. I'm already down to 4 minutes, but I'm going to cancel that timer again because I know I'm going to go over my specialty time limits here, which I don't care about. I just wanted to see if I can downsize it a bit, but yet I still have to pretty much get back to vacationing and doing some other stuff. I got to make dinner before it gets too dark too, because I got a grill outside, and got to find my flat. I got a light. I got to find my headlight for out there. I think it's in the car, but yeah, and I still got to talk about the movie. Oh, shit, I forgot all about talking about movies. Okay, let me quickly talk about a few movies. Then we'll get into some games news. And then I'm not going to talk about all the games news, but we'll talk about a few stories that are in the games news. But yeah, I went to see some movies this week, which I rarely do anymore because movies are expensive, and two, just don't have the time. And when they come out faster on Blu-ray and stuff like that, I usually just buy them right out, and then I could just watch them in my home theater where I can pause and take a shit or get food or whatever, and then continue, rewind, and I got a big home theater in my living room, so it's better for me that way. But I do tend to go to the theaters once in a while because they do got some tasty popcorn, and I do like to sit in their reclining seats once in a while, and I do like to enjoy a theater once in a while because that's what I grew up in. And I saw 2 movies this week. I just came back from one today, but on Tuesday I saw How to Train Your Dragon, the live action How to Train Your Dragon movie. I'm just going to say it is almost basically 1-to-1, like the animated movie. And I know some people are talking about the girl's hair, Astridge, is that how you say her name? Astridge's hair being not blonde and with the weird thing on the back, and it's more pigtail thing. Yeah, okay, but, I don't really care. She still looked pretty cute, and didn't care. She was still badass, cute. I think the guy that played Hiccup, he sounded like Hiccup, acted like Hiccup. It seemed a little weird that he seemed a little less goofy in the movie than the animated feature. The animated feature was more goofy-ish, I think. They kind of toned down the goofiness of the movie. Not too much, but in a weird way that I'm like, it seemed a little goofy-ish, less goofy in certain areas. But I can understand that. And the whole thing, it seemed really good. It was basically almost exactly 1-to-1 as the animated feature. And that's what I wanted from it. I know some people were complaining like everybody does. Oh, why can't it just be something different? Why is it got to be a 1-to-1? Why do people do that? Well, I think it works out because Sure, I love the animated features, but I always wanted to know what it looked like as a live action feature. And I think the graphics and stuff were pretty decent. They weren't the best CG out there, but they did a good job. CG. It was decent CG. It was decent stuff, and they did some other stuff. They did some creative stuff in the movie where they added a few things here and there to a few plot points and stuff, or a few jokes here and there, and I liked that. I thought it was a very good, strong movie. That's why it did very well in theaters, and I cannot wait to see the second one in what, 6 years from now, 5 to 6 years from now, when they make the next one, because Universal and DreamWorks will definitely make the next one going forward, and I highly recommend seeing it in theaters if you still can, or wait till it comes out on Blu-ray, which I will definitely get because it was good. I thought it was very good. That's as close as I'll get to another Monster Hunter movie, sort of. I really do like How to Train Your Dragon. It's a really good series of movies. And then today I saw Ballerina, which is the John Wick spin-off movie. And that movie, I hear, is not doing too well in theaters right now. It's not making that much money. It's not doing that well. I haven't really seen too much advertisement for that movie. And another problem, which I think is plaguing that movie, it's not being shown too much. Like, originally I wanted to see that movie on Tuesday and How to Train Your Dragon the next day, or see both, But for some weird reason, the Ballerina movie is only being shown like twice at a certain time. Like, I want early as I can see. The earliest I could see the Ballerina movie was noon, which I went to see it at noon. I usually like to see my movies maybe at 11 o'clock or something, which they usually do. And then the next one was like 3:30, and there was like only 2 showings of it at the Regal in my area, which usually they got like a whole bunch of them. The plot and all that is kind of okay here and there. Okay, understand this girl. You see her backstory, blah blah blah. She's dancing. She's doing the ballerina dancing behind the scenes, killer kind of movie, learning the ways of a hitman woman thing under the high table and all that stuff in this high society. And then you got this rogue society thing, and they're going head to head, and there's this whole story. And then sometimes they bring back John Wick, aka Keanu Reeves, comes back a couple times in the movie to, probably pad out the movie a little bit. And you got this lady where she's like the next, like supposedly supposed to be the next John Wick. And they have her, because she's a newer one, and she's, they like to say, oh, she is a woman, but she's supposed to overcome that and be more brutal. She still seems like she's fumbling and bumbling about killing people, learning stuff, figuring things out. And she's got this revenge grudge going against somebody for something. I'm not going to mention any of that. And basically, she's like fumbling and bumbling about. There's a lot of good sequences in there. There's a lot of good fights and stuff in there. But it likes to hit the nail home, telling me and you, if you watch this movie, that yes, she is doing the John Wick stuff, but she is a female. Remember that. She is a female. She is as powerful or strong, even though in the movie, when they're training her, they're saying it's not all about being strongest or the most powerful. You still can be a badass and overcome that stuff, but you got to be that badass. And it seems like she's still finding her roots through this whole movie. And then eventually she does become like this so-called killer type, John Wickish type at where it becomes at the end of the movie. And it's like, okay. And then there's this whole side plot, and then you got Norman Reedus, which I forgot he was in the movie, but Norman Reedus is in the movie. And I was like looking at him like, you look exactly like you just came out of The Walking Dead. Like you just came from The Walking Dead set, came into this movie and says, hey, I'll play this character. I'll play this dad of this little girl that she's lost and try to find and whatever, this weird plot point. And you don't see him. You see him for a bit, they take him out of the movie a bit for the rest of the movie, and then he's surprise, he's back at the end of the movie. It's a lot of push and shove, a lot of in and out. It seems like it's taken a little while to find its direction, and they're trying to put a lot of action and stuff and fight sequences and cool stuff like a flamethrower scene. I do like it when two people are battling each other with flamethrowers head to head. That's interesting. And, you know, they do a lot of other interesting stuff, and you meet a lot of the original people in there, like some people that are no longer with us. You'll know who I'm talking about there. And they try to make it a very good action movie, but I think the story is just kind of lacking a little bit, but it's still a very good movie. I came out of it saying, okay, it was a good movie. I probably could have just bought it on Blu-ray, and I would have been happy if I missed this movie and went to see, which I was going to go see, the live-action Lilo and Stitch movie. I still want to maybe see that next week. I don't know. Maybe if next Tuesday is a good day, maybe I'll go see that. I don't know. And I'll get the half-price ticket or something if they're still showing it in regular times and stuff in the theaters on Tuesday. But if not, no big deal. I'll wait till it comes out on Blu-ray as well. But I could have maybe passed on Ballerina and went to see and just bought it on Blu-ray, and I would have been just fine with it. But interesting. A lot of hot women. The main lady, she's pretty hot. The Armis Damas, whatever. I just felt like a lot of people have been saying, maybe they could have just left it as John Wick proper, and maybe the franchise is going to suffer a little bit or whatever. I don't know. That's what all these critics are saying. And it's, as you can see or hear or see, if you go out and look, it is not doing that well in theaters. And I don't know if that's just because they're not putting it out in theaters that much, or if it's just because they don't have they should have faith. They spend a lot of money and production money to make this movie. It is a high production movie. I've got to tell you, they put a lot of money into making this movie. So it surprises me that it's not getting the fanfare it should maybe deserve, or people should go see it, and it's not getting enough probably good advertisement. I don't know. Sometimes these movies don't do well. Maybe people are getting bored with the franchise. Maybe they just want to see, you know, Keanu Reeves back as John Wick one more time, which I think they said, wasn't he supposed to come back one more time as John Wick? I don't know. I don't even think that's, or was it an animated thing? There was a lot of stuff. They were saying John Wick this, that, and I don't even know anymore. They should just make a John Wick video game. Fuck it. Just make a John Wick video game. Bring us back John Wick as a video game character. Let us go boom, boom, boom all around, and that'd be pretty cool too. But like I said, it was a decent movie. I spent like full price. Tickets are expensive, especially if you buy them online and they charge you an extra $2 convenience fee. Why? Because I just don't want to go buy it in the theater directly. You're going to charge me a $2 convenience fee. That's probably one of those reasons why theaters are not doing as hot as they usually are. Because I spent like almost $30 again at the theater. Because another thing that kind of pissed me off going to the theater today, I had a free popcorn owed to me for my birthday. And apparently, somehow, they got it mixed up with my reduced popcorn purchase thing from the last time. And they charged me, and they said I used the popcorn thing for the up popcorn sale from the last time. So I didn't get my free popcorn. I had to spend $10 on a little medium popcorn, which the medium popcorn looks like a small popcorn. And I'm like, $10 fucking dollars just for... Actually, it's more than $10, but I'm just saying, $10 for a fucking small popcorn. You know how much it costs to make a popcorn? I can buy all my popcorn accessories and a big giant bag of popcorn kernels, and I already got the coconut oil, and the spice at my house because I make popcorn at home, and it cost me probably like $10 for all that stuff. Maybe $12, you know, with shipping and stuff. But shit. And I can make as many of these big bowls of popcorn as I want compared to this. And they charge $10 for fucking popcorn. Now, if it was like $5 or $6, I would be like, okay, but $10 fucking dollars. Originally, I was going to bring some of the leftover popcorn from the last time in, but then I'm like, well, my pockets suck. I got to get some cargo pants. And I'm like, So I bought that, and I brought my own soda because I'm not drinking overpriced soda there. I had a leftover soda that I brought in. I know it's not good practice, but I spent a lot of money. And it still cost me $30 damn because I've spent $14.99 or almost $15 on the ticket, and then another 10 plus something dollars on that popcorn. It was almost $30 fucking dollars. And people wonder why people don't go to the movies much anymore, because it's too fucking expensive. And that's just me. If I had a girlfriend and I was taking her with me and we wanted to get with a big bowl of popcorn and sodas and stuff like that, or like I bought a hot dog from the last time because it was my birthday. I'm like, I'm going to get a hot dog for my birthday viewing, and it would cost $8 for a fucking Nathan's hot dog. It was a Nathan's hot dog. It was a good hot dog, but $8 fucking dollars for a fucking hot dog? And I only did because it was for a treat for my birthday. But I'm like, $8 fucking dollars for a hot dog? You're fucking kidding me. I could see $5 or $6 at the most, but $8 fucking dollars for a hot dog the last time. And that is why I don't go to theaters too much anymore, especially when prices for concessions are so high. But I enjoyed my theater times. And like I said, if I do decide to go see Lilo and Stitch next week, Tuesday, I will. If not, I'll just wait for it to come on Blu-ray. It's probably cheaper for me to buy them for $20 on Blu-ray, $20-25 on Blu-ray, and then just watch them 10 million times, pause them in my own theater, which I got the rumble, I got the surround sound, I got big screen, I got all that shit. I could pop my own popcorn, got my own shitter next down the hallway from me. I don't really need to go to the theater. People don't really need to go to the theaters. I'm sorry, but I will support you. But, and the biggest thing that I'm sure a lot of people will say and have said and talking about the theaters, the biggest gripe, the biggest no-no that the theaters are doing is the extended amounts of advertisements. And I'm not just talking film trailers. I'm talking about advertisements. My movie was supposed to start at 12. I didn't start watching the movie. The movie didn't start until 12:18. So almost 20 fucking minutes of not just previews, but advertisements. Almost 20 fucking minutes. And I'm like, shit, I could have came, if I would have known, I would have came like 10 minutes after the showing would have started, and I would have went in there, and then it still would have been perfect and perfectly fine. That's what drives me crazy. They're still trying to stab you in the heart with tons of advertisements. And then they still say, whoa, you should come see movies legitly in the theaters to support theaters. But yet you're not giving us any good reason to, because you're going to still stick us with 10 million advertisements and trailers and all this other bullshit and just not show us the movie when the movie's supposed to start. And then you still charge exorbitant amounts of concession prices and tickets and stuff. So it's hard to justify and support a theater if they keep doing that stuff. It's just ridiculous. And then on a small note, I also got a trailer hitch also installed the other day on Wednesday. That was good for my vehicle. That was a good, pleasant experience. It only took an hour and a half to do from the guys. And now next year I can buy myself a nice utilities trailer for the back of my vehicle, and I can get all my supplies for my outdoor stuff and whatnot. So that was good times. Spent a lot of money this week, but you got to make up next week when I start working again, going back to work. But that's just me. Good thing I'm single. Good thing I don't got kids. Good thing I can afford all this stuff. Hence why I can do most of this stuff. So, on to the games news. Why don't we finish up this show with a few games news stories, shall we?
Ready for the fight. Game Talk Newz, gonna set the stage alight. Mr. Mike's got the scoop, he ain't holding back. Dropping bombs on the gaming industry track. Hear the thunder, feel the roar. Game Talk Newz, gonna settle the score. From E3 to PAX, they got it all. The highs and lows, ready to brawl.
Okay, the games news, folks, and I only gonna do a little bit of games news because, boy, I was just talking too much about everything else and a lot of stuff going on. But let's see here. I'll just run through some stories here. Xbox boss Phil Spencer teases the return of Halo in 2026. And it's basically another Halo Combat Evolved remaster, just like they did the remaster or soon to be done coming out remaster of Gears of War with all the up-resed and stuff and 4K and 240 hertz, all that other stuff. They're gonna do the Gears of War thing to Halo Combat Evolved remaster, even though they just remastered before in the Master Chief Collection Halo Combat Evolved. They're going to do it again because this time they're going to put it on PlayStation and maybe some other stuff, maybe Switch 2, which is another weird thing that we haven't heard much about Microsoft's initiative to port more games to the Switch 2. I thought they would have been all balls in and saying, hey, we're going to put a lot of Xbox Microsoft games on Switch 2, but I haven't heard much from them, and it's kind of weird. A lot of for PlayStation, but not much for the Nintendo Switch 2, which I don't know if it's because of the cost to do it or whatnot. It's just weird that we haven't heard more on Xbox games coming to Switch 2. I thought they would have put a slew of these games on there, but guess not. But like I said, they are touting that, or Phil Spencer's touting that Halo Combat Evolved remaster is in the works and stuff like that. For games that need to get remasters and remasters, I don't think Halo Combat Evolved is one of them. Because like I said, they did do the remaster like twice, actually, didn't they? Didn't they do it like twice already where they made it even more remastered? That's because they remastered it so it worked on what, the Xbox One and stuff, or am I imagining that? And then didn't they come out with like another one where it made it even better, and now they're doing it again? Okay, I haven't played Halo in a long time. Sure, I'm gonna play Halo Combat Evolved again, especially if I could get new achievements for it. But come on, why don't we go to a new Halo game? And they're also touting that they're in early works for a new Halo game. We'll see. Still haven't played the latest one because platforming. Let's see here. Oh yeah, how about these people talking about how their Switch has been bricked and stuff because they've been using these MIG switches, apparently getting them banned from Nintendo Switch Online usage. They can still put in and play physical games in their Switch 2s. They just can never go online again because I think they're fully digitally bricked from playing those games, which is what Nintendo was saying. And also, it's also stated that Nintendo's is doing this stuff because of a great thing to do against Switch 2 game pirates, which, it's great. So apparently a wave of Nintendo Switch 2 users have reported suddenly being banned from accessing the console's online services and believe their use of the MIG Switch cartridge is the cause. I forgot all about that thing. The MIG Switch is a flashing cartridge that stores and plays copied Nintendo Switch 1 games. I forgot they still had that stuff for that because I thought they stopped doing that because of some updates with the Switch 1, but I guess people are still trying to do that. Nintendo itself takes a dim view on it, even though many users of the device claim they're just playing backups of their own legally bought software, which that's a very sketchy issue because I remember using that kind of a thing for my 3DS and stuff where I would put in downloaded games or whatever and I could put them in my 3DS and play whatever games on there. I always had the funnest time. Now that Nintendo has this better hardware and software to back it up and they can lock the shit or block the shit or completely brick the shit. Yeah. So basically people getting banned using any means like the MIG switch on the Switch 2 looks to be the same as impacted users say that they've begun receiving online bans on their Switch 2 consoles, blocking them from online gameplay and the console's eShop, which is weird that they would block the eShop, because you would think that'd be the thing that they would allow them to continue to use, because then they can just put in a credit card and buy stuff from the eShop still from them. But I guess they don't even want you to buy any more stuff from the eShop, you know? They're like, fuck you, we're not going to sell you games off our eShop. Or access to other Nintendo services, and now they are hurriedly warning others of the consequences. So one person was saying, my Switch 2 test has been banned after using the MIG switch with perfectly legal dumps of my own cartridges. That's yet to be believed. So it would seem that Nintendo can detect something when user wrote on social media linking to a string of similar reports online. It's probably some sort of code and Switch-like hardware stuff like that. I can understand. You know, there's ways to detect if it's something legal or not. It's just like a lot of games out there. I forgot who was doing it. Was it CD Projekt Red or something, or was it somebody else that if somebody was playing their game, they were able to play their game up to a point and then would just like not let them continue any further or something. They did something where people couldn't continue to play the game or whatever, and said, hey, you got to go back and buy the game or whatever, and people couldn't get past it and they were pissed off or whatever. The people that were trying to rip the game off and stuff and, you know, and hack the game. And then along came de novo and all these other bullshit things that I don't like, because they use the kernel of your computer systems to do these low-level protections from piracy and stuff, which can affect your computer. Somebody can hack them and hack through your computer and it's all a bad thing. But yeah, don't try to fuck with Nintendo. That's what I gotta say. Don't try to fuck with Nintendo, because if you use any of this stuff and you try to circumvent the software in any way or try to get your ROMs on the device, they're gonna tell you no. Now, that still has a lot of gray legal issues, and I'm sure it's in their terms of service and all that. But still, it still seems like it has some legal issues, I think, especially here in the United States. If, I'm using my legal ROMs, and then they blocked it and they banned me, and I can't use my system that I just paid almost $500 for or something, and I deserve my money back or something or whatever. And I'm sure we'll get complaints of people suing Nintendo for doing that to them or whatnot. I wonder if somebody's going to try to sue Nintendo for doing something like that. I can see it. I can definitely see Nintendo getting sued because some pirates and people don't like it that they can't use their own hardware and stuff in Nintendo's ecosystem. And then they're going to say, well, you can do it on Apple devices now and everything else and blah, 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 Nintendo, get those lawyers ready, because you never know what happens. Also, let's see here. Also, other stuff, Nintendo has made the Switch 2 scalping even much harder, especially in Japan. They say it's more in Japan, by making a simple change to what's in the box. So in an attempt to combat scalpers, at least in Japan, Nintendo has excluded a vital component from the Nintendo Switch 2 box, making it harder to resell the console. As reported, owners of the latest Switch model in Japan have noticed that the console doesn't come with a physical warranty card, which is typically required for in-store hardware repairs. Alternatively, owners are now required to have proof of purchase in the form of a receipt to get their Switch 2 repaired by Nintendo, Japan's official repair service, a change which has also made reselling the console much more difficult for scalpers. I wonder if they do that in the United States. For this reason, resellers and Japanese online retailers are being forced to include their receipts. However, it appears that Mercari, Japan, I think that's what it is, Mercari, M-E-R-C-A-R-I, Mercari, Japan, is now prohibiting receipts, a marketplace where people have been buying and reselling the console. Wait, they're prohibiting receipts. That's weird. Huh. In conclusion, this is clear violation of Mercedes terms and conditions. It's out of the gray area. Nintendo, you've set up so many traps. It's amazing. Huh. That's weird. The original Switch, which did come with a warranty card in Japan, owners only have to send it in a copy of the card to request a repair. Now the proof of purchase rule, Switch 2 owners in Japan are required to send their receipt along with their console to be repaired according to Nintendo Japan. In the EU, the Switch 2 warranty only covers the console for 24 months of post-purchase and does not cover the product if it has been resold or used for rental or commercial purposes. Similarly, the Nintendo of America version of the warranty reads, the original purchaser is entitled to the warranty only if the consumer can demonstrate to Nintendo's satisfaction the product was purchased within the last 12 months. So here in the United States, we only got 12 months. We don't even get 24 months. So basically, yeah, you need a receipt and a date of purchase for America as well. Which, you know what? Hey, good on it. Keeps the scalpers from scalping as much, because then it's like, well, can't sell these things if people want warranties with their consoles and stuff. Yeah, unless if they sell them without warranties. You know, say, hey, this ain't a warranted console. Buyer beware or whatever. I don't know. What else would they say? Nexus Mods owner. You never hear of Nexus Mods. They're a big PC mod hub online, which is really good. I use them for some games like Steam games. They're very big on all the Steam games and stuff. And a few Xbox games like Oblivion, Starfield, stuff like that I would use it on for Skyrim and stuff. Apparently, the owner has stepped down for right now, and it's under new management. I didn't even know it was a big company. I thought it was like a few guys doing this. But apparently, the creator and the owner, over 24 years as creator, Robin Dark One Scott, hands off the baton for the sake of his mental health. Apparently, he was getting it's a big mental health job to keep that Nexus Mods running, apparently. Following months of meetings, face-to-face talks. Apparently, he's got an underling that's taking over everything for Nexus Mods and going forward. And he says it's in good hands. He's just, for his own mental health and stuff, he has to step away. He's still going to be a part of it, but in a way lesser role. Let's see here. The small project was born in Scott's bedroom for the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, eventually ballooned into a massive entity in the gaming space. The Nexus Mods Us page notes that this beating heart of the PC gaming community is made up of 63.4 million users, I'm one of them, and 16.8 billion file downloads, positioning it as one of the most highly trafficked UK-based websites on the planet. I didn't even know it was a UK-based website, but yeah. But it's still apparently, let's see here. So I guess he's still gonna engage with it a little bit, and he's going to guide his 40-person team to help to work on all this stuff. 40 people working on this shit. That's pretty cool. I like Nexus Mods. I hope the new guy that's taking over is decent. They say he is decent. And I hope Nexus Mods continues to be Nexus Mods. And I hope it doesn't turn into one of those other sites where they start going crazy with ads and charging you and all this other bullshit and crazy stuff that makes the sites unusable and whatnot. And they turn into phishing sites. But yeah, I love using Nexus Mods. If you got PC games, and check out Nexus Mods if you want to mod them for like little stuff. If you want to do big stuff, little stuff, you can make the games easier, harder. You can make them look different. They play differently. It's just stuff that you can put into the back of codes of the games and stuff that can make it. It's like a Game Genie, but doing it yourself with coding and stuff like that. It's really cool. And like I said, it helped me play through Starfield very easily because I was able to circumvent some of the bullshit in Starfield, and it made the game a whole lot more fun for me. And I still got my achievements and stuff. And that's what the way it is. To make games even more fun and make them to your play style. Simple as that. Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I will definitely get, confirms Super Mario Odyssey's Pauline is your new sidekick, and DK can now transform into a zebra or a flying ostrich. So, Mario Odyssey's Pauline, the sexy brunette in the red dress and the heels and stuff singing. Well, now she's a kid. And she's a barefoot little kid in her suspender pants, jean pants and stuff. And she's sitting on Donkey Kong as he goes through the adventures. And she just wants to get her her way back to New Donk City to go and start her singing career and stuff like that. She's a younger version of Pauline. People are saying maybe this is like a prequel to Mario Odyssey, and now they're thinking, oh, is this made by the Mario Odyssey team and stuff like that and all that? And then there's all this speculation. Also, apparently Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong are coming back, along with Cranky Kong and Rambi. Also announced is a Donkey Kong Bonanza amiibo figure featuring Donkey Kong and Pauline, which I'm definitely going to get that amiibo because it looks pretty cool. This will be available alongside the game and grants a costume for Pauline earlier than you would otherwise unlock it. And it's basically her like shorter heels and red dress and stuff. They give her the red dress Pauline look from Mario Odyssey in this. All other amiibo figures are also compatible with the game and will spawn helpful pieces of terrain material if you use them in the game, which I really like because that's like, oh, when are they going to use amiibo figures in these games? Oh, this one's going to use it. Like I said, Donkey Kong Bonanza seems like a really cool game. And the more I've seen it, if you watch the Donkey Kong Bonanza direct that they did, it looks crazy. It looks crazy good. And that could be a console seller. And will there be a new Mario game coming by the end of December or something, by the end of the year? Who knows? A lot of people say there's not going to be anything, but I'm like, there's got to be something, one or two more big games coming. Because if you got Donkey Kong Bonanza now, what do you got for the upcoming months? There's got to be something coming every month, at least from Nintendo first party, to make this a really good thing. And if not, it's like, okay, then it's one of those Nintendo things where they release a couple big games and then you got to wait months and months and months until the next games, which is weird because you would think Nintendo would be sitting on a lot of games right now, and people have been saying they've been sitting on a lot of shit right now. So you would think they would want to have a lot of games coming out for their launch line, unless if they know that they want to sell more consoles first before they could get more of these copies of games out. But it's still, you sell games no matter what. For Nintendo, it shouldn't matter. But Nintendo's weird. They're finicky. They're crazy. They're weird on how they do that. Their release stuff. They're very, it's our way or the highway kind of Nintendo. Donkey Kong Bonanza launches July 17th. That's going to be great. Exclusively for the Nintendo Switch 2. Like I said, I will buy that game. I'll probably buy a physical copy of it and just keep it till I get a Switch 2. I'm definitely going to buy that amiibo. That amiibo is going to be great. It looks cool. I'm going to get that. Definitely. Let's see here. What else do we got here? I don't really care about a lot of this stuff. We got Game Pass. You got Marathon being delayed. Don't really care about that. You got Mind's Eye. That's a piece of shit of a game. Everybody's been saying it. Some people have been playing and showing it. Mind's Eye is not a good game at all, even though it's made by Leslie Benzies, which was a part of Rockstar fame, which did all the production of Grand Theft Autos and stuff, but something must have happened during the Mind's Eye production because that just went down the hill, and that's all beyond the whole IO publishing fiasco. So Mind's Eye, don't buy Mind's Eye here. Marathon delayed as Bungie promises to reveal new release date this fall because, of course, Marathon has a lot of bullshit going on with it, with stolen art that they probably had to fix, and people aren't too happy with the gameplay. What else do we got here? Warner Brothers Games is restructuring to focus mostly on Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, and DC franchises. Who would have saw that coming? I don't know how well that's going to be, but okay. And then, excuse me, my voice is going. This will be the final news story, and then we're going to call it quits for this podcast because there's already too much podcast. Amazon kicks off its early Prime Day 2025 offers with several free games for Prime members. And I guess this is all going through GOG via GOG code or Good Old Games code, which I think is pretty interesting. And it makes me want to maybe become a temporary Prime member just for these codes because it seems interesting, even though I shouldn't really too much care, but I do. But Amazon Prime Day event in July has been revealed, but the service is now offering a free selection of 6 PC games to celebrate early, all of which Amazon Prime members can claim right now. Those include Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered, Saints Row 2, Saints Row 4 Re-elected. I think that's 4. Yeah, 4 Re-elected. Star Wars Rebellion, Dungeon of the Endless Definitive Edition, and Toem, which Toem, I don't know what Toem is. Toem. Some of them are pretty good games. I already own Saints Row 2 and 4. I already own Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered, which I still think is a pile of shit, even though I haven't played it recently, but still think it's a piece of shit. I don't know Star Wars Rebellion. I don't know Dungeons of Endless Definitive Edition, but they're offering some games, and most of them are through Good Old Games. Only Dungeons of the Endless Definitive Edition is through Amazon Games app. I wonder if that's because it's one of their games. But and you can keep them forever. You can keep them in your digital collection. You can keep them forever and ever and ever and ever, especially those Good Old Games codes. Those Good Old Games says once you buy it from them, you own them for life. So there you go. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. It ain't no Game Pass lineup, which they also have their own stuff, but I don't have any more time to be talking about it. But yeah, if you're one of those Amazon Prime members, I forget all the time that they offer free games sometimes, and this is one of those times that they're offering some legit free games, I guess. You know, because maybe some of you might want to play some of those games and get them for free, and you forgot all about Amazon and their Good Old Games. I think you just go to the games themselves, like you type in the games and they come up. I don't know how the Prime games, maybe there's a section for Prime games. I don't know. So many different things that Prime is hooked into on that site. I don't even know anymore. The only time I'm going to use Prime is probably for the Prime Video subscriptions for when The Boys season, 4 now or whatever is coming out, and all the other stuff that they're bringing out, and Fallout season 2 and stuff like that. That's probably the only time I'm gonna get Prime again for that. Otherwise, whatever. What else? Yeah, that's it. That's all the games and talk news stuff that I got to talk about. Talked about a lot of stuff, mostly about my Minecraft and server and bullshit like that. And like I said, Microsoft's trying to go of gold again, try to get to be number one. And if they get it all to work, if they get that backwards compatibility to work, especially for if I'm on my Asus Xbox ROG Ally or PC or whatever they're gonna do on that, beyond their console thing, they'll keep not only me, but maybe they can get more people on board. You know, a lot of people probably would love to play a lot of these games handheld. I don't know. It's just one of those things, folks. It's one of those things. And Sony, all the best of luck to them. I hope you don't make another Vita. You got to support it. And the only way they can support that handheld is if it, like they said, plays the console games, counterpart games with the PS5 games. But if they make a PS6, how are they going to play games with that? Unless if you're going to have the PS5 out there for a lot longer than you originally were stating, you know? Or otherwise, the PlayStation new portable, PS5 portable or whatever, is going to be a sitting duck if it can't play the next generation PlayStation games on it, you know? Which Microsoft's Xbox ROG Ally or ROG Xbox Ally can and will play next gen games because it's all through the Xbox PC store and Xbox Play Anywhere. They just need to get the back catalogs to work on it and the console backlogs, digital backlogs to work on it. Because like I said, there's no disk drive and a ROG Ally or anything else. Anywho, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for listening to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, this podcast goes up now each and every week on Mondays. I also have my Friday night streams, which I just did, I think, as you were listening to this, the last GameOn live stream of Doom the Dark Ages, because I plan on beating that Friday. I don't know until tomorrow when I play it, but podcast is going into the future, so you already know if I beat it, which I probably did. And I'm going to have a slew of other stuff. I'm going to have some Let's Plays. I got that Stellar Blade, which I will probably try to put up maybe something on top of that as a Let's Play. Maybe I'll make that the new Let's Play. I don't know. I got Stellar Blade here on Steam. There's a Steam demo of Stellar Blade that I want to maybe check out. I hear it's a great game with the scantily clad women battling it out. Maybe I want to try that out as a Let's Play or something. Plus, I'm definitely going to play some Minecraft, do maybe a Minecraft Mining Mayhem. Got some other games I want to play. Like I said, it's all about what I get to. So, thank you for joining me, folks. This has been a nice GamezAttack podcast. Remember, go to my website at OldFreakyGamer.com. Go to my YouTube page at OldFreakyGamer-2023. I'm Mr. Mike. Saying game on, game hard, world conquest. I'm pushing this game button. This show is now game over. I'm out of here. I'm out of here, everybody. Bye. Bye.
It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel
Family Computer.
Game over.